Greetings and welcome to Yellowstone Ghost Stories, episode number 14, The Great Absaroka Defiance. The Great Absaroka Defiance. Although there is no real historical documentation on the following story, some say it is a legend shared among the Absaroka tribes for many years. It is written as it might have been told by an old chief to his children. In a time long ago, where people camped and hunted in the land of the Great Yellowstone, they revered sprouting waters and hissing stream. The giant mountains were havens for our ancestors' spirits, for from the peaks one could see far into the next world. Surrounded by these mountains, our people felt safe and secure, for it was here that their own grandfathers had camped and hunted, and it was here where their grandmothers raised strong sons and daughters. It was here along the Yellowstone River they were one with their generous Mother Earth. The Absaroka did not believe the earth belonged to them, but rather they belonged to her. The mountains and the meadows were sacred with holy reflections of those ancestors who went before. They shared the earth with every living creature. To our people, all creatures are our brothers, and we are equal to all living things on Mother Earth. As the white man came westward, they found Yellowstone. The government in Washington soon felt struggles with our people, so the army leaders sent men to sit in council with the leaders of the Absaroka, and a treaty was written on white man's paper. On this paper, boundaries were set for the Crow Indian Nation, and land along the Yellowstone River was given to us. The land stretched as far as the tops of the Great Absaroka Mountains, and it was not long before the white man's treaty was forgotten, and soon more white men came. This caused more fighting, so the army sent troops. They pushed and crowded our once mighty and proud people to flat, barren lands with poor fishing and few buffalo. As our people were corralled by the soldiers, a band of warriors escaped and took refuge along the upper Yellowstone. Learning of this, the soldiers chased them. The government wanted to keep all of our people on the reservation according to the white man's treaty. They felt that the warrior braves would be punished for escaping the reservation. After many days of being chased and many nights without sleep, there were only a few warriors still alive. One evening in council, it was decided that they should run no more. The brave warriors gathered at the head of the Grand Canyon of the Great Yellowstone River, and there, each warrior, young and old, agreed to take his own life rather than surrender to the white man and live caged on the reservation. Days passed, and together they built a fine raft from the trunks of the lodgepole pines growing along the Yellowstone. When it was finished, they carried it to the brink of the lower falls, and they shared many favorite stories of wisdom from their fathers and grandfathers before them. But those days were not to last. From a distance, they could hear the thunder of horses and knew the white soldiers were coming. It was now time to be carried to their deaths, as they had planned. When the sun awakened them the next morning, each warrior took his place on the raft and pushed off the rushing waters, prepared to meet the Great Father and their ancestors. They rode the swift current that took them to the next world. Those with guns shot them off in defiance against all the captivity, while the white soldiers standing on the riverbank looked in bewilderment. The warriors had chosen the ultimate escape, the turning to their enemy with the Great Defiance, and they chanted their last song as they stood tall as the rush of the rapids sent them surging 308 feet to the rocks below. As seasons pass, the legend remains. is. Each time you stand in the wonder of the great lower falls of the Yellowstone, feel the power and strength of our warriors. Hear their echoing chants of freedom and prayers for peace. Look for the faces of the brave warrior spirits who stood together in defiance of injustice and who chose eternal freedom that morning in Yellowstone. So that is the story of the Great Absaroka Defiance. Hopefully you enjoyed this month's episodes, and we look forward to you being here in our next month for the last set of episodes in Yellowstone Ghost Stories. So take care, and we'll see you next week for episode number 15. Bye for now, and take care. Chief Wahoo to the rescue!